This is the EVP Podcast.
Guess what, everybody? It's the EVP Podcast, and we are your hosts. I'm Ghosty.
I'm DVO.
I think I'm Beaker.
And this is episode 78. I hope you're ready and got your party pants on.
Yeah.
We're going to Camp Floyd, everybody.
We're going to the party in the pants.
The pants party.
The pants party.
Yes. This is Utah's very first ghost town.
Camp Floyd is?
Camp Floyd. Frog City.
Did you
What?
know?
Frog City.
We had
Never heard of
comments
that.
about our last episode. People liked the last episode.
Good, because last episode was a good episode.
Someone said it was one of our better episodes, and we did a very good job. It was very entertaining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone else loved the fact that we were able to reference American Horror Story and Seinfeld in that last episode. They must have missed
And
the
Peter
part.
Pan.
Yeah, I was gonna say they missed the part where we referenced Peter Pan and Robin Hood.
Yeah. All in the same
We got
episode.
a lot of that in that last episode.
We did good, guys.
We did good. Patting ourselves on the back because we're awesome. Okay, now talk about.
Okay, so last night I went on an investigation to
Camp Floyd.
Camp Floyd.
So we're here so Camp Floyd's in Utah.
Yes.
What city?
Fairfield.
Fairfield, Utah. We're right now recording in Riverton, Utah. How long's the drive there?
Just over half an hour from me.
But half hour. And if you keep going like another 5 minutes, keep going, you're on the old Finger Bang Highway.
Exactly. Right to Mercer.
Yeah, right to Mercer. Just letting you guys know.
Yep, you turn
geographically, you're all off the old Finger Bang
Yeah, you
Highway.
actually got to turn off Finger Bang Highway to get to Camp Floyd.
Exactly.
It's like right at the beginning.
So what is it about Frog City?
Yeah, what's Frog City? Frog
What
Eye
is
Salad?
Frog City?
I had Frog Eye Salad yesterday.
That's
But-
gross.
That's what they
Do
were.
you hate yourself?
No, it was delicious.
I don't know why they called it that. I do not know why.
Frog Eye Salad was because there's little pebbles. And
No, that's why-
tapioca balls look like frog eyes.
I don't know why
Ambrosia
they called
salad's
it
better.
Frog City.
Bro, it's the same thing. Ambrosia Frog Eye Salad.
No, it's different.
Same.
No.
I was gonna pull.
I know,
Frog
'cause I'm
City,
fat.
Fairfield.
What are you looking up?
Frog City. See
Frog
why
City.
they call it Frog City?
I asked him a difficult
I could have
question.
done that. Sorry.
We could-
Frogtown. Sorry.
Frogtown. Ribbit.
Well, now why do they call it Frogtown?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So they
But
were
Frogtown,
got psychedelic
it was
frogs.
called Frogtown before Fairfield. So it was called Frogtown, and then it became Fairfield in 1861. So,
All right.
So during this whole time, this was called Frogtown, and it wasn't. So while this was all happening so Camp Floyd, I guess we should get in the whole story about what all
Probably.
happened. All right. So Camp Floyd was first named after the Secretary of War John B. Floyd. And it's a former military post that housed the largest concentration of Army troops in the U.S. from 1858 to 1861. So it was established in 1851 under the command of Brigadier General Albert Sidney Johnston. And there were 3,500 troops, including cavalry, infantry, and artillery units, consisting of approximately 400 buildings. And the army was sent to Camp Floyd by James Buchanan because of the threat of the alleged Mormon rebellion that was rumored to be brewing, also referenced as the Utah War. Because Utah trying to become a state, getting denied, only granting territory status, this is, they kind of got mad about everything. So the president, we'll get into this, they call this a lot of things. They call this Buchanan's blunder, the Utah War, or the Utah Expedition. So, do you know why? Do you want to get into more detail about why they were sent there? About the whole Mormon War? Did you get a lot of details on that? Or I can keep going.
You keep going.
All right, I'll keep going then.
Yeah.
So, the whole Mormon religion was getting attacked by Americans, and about the way they were trying to bring this religion up, and they were killing them. And so they were being attacked, and they left to come towards Salt Lake. They found Salt Lake on their way to the west, and
And then they said, "This is the place."
they said this is the place. So when Brigham Young first set foot on Salt Lake,
They're trying to get to India, right? And they're like, oh, we're...
They were
trying to
finding
find India.
faster trade routes to India.
So on July 24th, you all know that day, Pioneer Day, July 24th, 1847, he said if they could just have 10 years of peace, they would ask no odds of the devil or Uncle Sam. And exactly 10 years to the day, on July 24th of 1857, Young received word that an American army was on its way to Utah Territory. 10 years to the day. So Judge William Drummond, he was one of the people that was sent to Utah that was working with Brigham Young and working with other lawyers and all that, and they all answered to Brigham Young. He was lecturing like polygamists about how they lived their lives, and he was saying it was immoral and all this. And he was with the other judge, George P. Stiles and John F. Kinney, and they all ended up going back to Washington, D.C. and reporting that the Mormons were mean to them. And
Those bastards.
They're mean.
Oh, they poked fun at me.
but they were exaggerating. They said they were exaggerating a lot of stuff. But I'm sure they were pretty much getting run out of town. They were pretty much, nobody was listening to them. They were judges, and nobody was listening to them. So they're like, this isn't how the law works. We still have law. You guys are trying to become a state, and yet you guys are. This is what is it called when the government's run by religion? Damn it, theocracy.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're like, you're more of a theocracy instead of a democracy. So they ran back to Washington, D.C. and was tattletelling, and there was so Washington, D.C. decides, it sounds like they are gonna put up a fight. So let's see, relationships ended up climaxing when the Utah lawyers broke into one of the lawyers' offices. You like that word, huh? Well, when they before they ran off to Washington, D.C., some of the people were protesting because Utah wasn't granted the state status and they just were a territory. So they broke in and pretended to burn court documents and law books, and that's when they were getting more scared to run out of town. They're getting run out of town that way. So they ran out of town, and the president decided sending 2,500 troops would be a good solution to that. So he sends 1/3 of the Army's forces out to Camp Floyd, and they ended up marching from Kansas to Fort Bridger, and ended up arriving in June of 1858 here towards Salt Lake, and then came out to the Cedar Valley. And then construction was all done by November of 1858. And during this time, while they were still building all that in August, the Mormons sent Colonel Robert Burton and a Renaissance unit of 125 men east with orders. Let's see. Yeah, they were doing a lot of stuff where they were messing with the troops, and they were trying to get them all scared. Let's see what else they were doing. A lot of them. Oh, they ended up sending spies in too. The Mormon militia ended up sending in spies, and they were hearing stories about how the Mormon or how the army was going to try to hang their leaders and rape their women and all that. So they went back to the Brigham Young and told them all that, and they got more scared. But there was a lot of bumping heads, but nobody shed blood with each other. Nobody fought. And it ended up being a bloodless war. So nobody wanted to really draw first blood. And even though the Mormon rebellion never took place, the burden of everything, of supplying all this, was costly. They actually think that the Secretary of War, Floyd, was deliberately was trying to exhaust the federal treasury. But
So here's what happened. President Buchanan, upset he can't have more than one wife, sends the army to kill the Mormons because they have more than one wife. Not really. Do you know, so Fairfield, I just looked up, it's 46 miles or so south of Salt Lake. Back in the 1850s, that's kind of a long ways to set up camp if you're going to be starting a war.
Horses and walking.
Right. It's we're going to fight these people 46 miles away. Even in a car right now, that's still kind of a distance.
I can look it up.
You can.
It's about a little bit over an hour, I think, from Salt Lake. But the troops ended up exiting about July of 1861, and they all had to go back to. They got called back because the Civil War started, and Abraham Lincoln called for it to get pretty much demolished. So that whole place went from 7,000 residents to just 18 families. Ended up being Utah's first ghost town in the 1800s.
It would be a 15-hour walk.
15-hour walk? Mm-hmm. So they could get there in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Camp Floyd to Salt Lake City would be a 15-hour walk.
It seems like it would take longer than that.
It's a pretty long time.
It is a long time,
That's still
though.
a long time. Like, okay, we're going to go fight this war. Let's set up 15 hours away.
Yes, it's 42 miles.
So, with that being...
And that's on paved roads, by the way.
So this place
Back
was
then.
a huge boom in town. This was like Utah's third largest city at this time. And it all just kind of blew up real quick just because... And it wasn't even like Utah residents. It just... the whole army just came in. So they were only there for just over 3 years and gone. Just with the 18 families being left over after all that. And so I don't really understand either why it was why would it be haunted. They have a cemetery there, but there was reports of a floating dress. Somebody was reporting a floating dress there.
Yeah.
Like paranormal? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like a dress just floating in midair by itself. Like, I don't know if like someone
they
was
could've
wearing the dress.
Blown
or...
off of a clothesline after being washed? And the wind
No,
could've
I think it
blown
was
off?
inside the Stagecoach Inn. So all that's left after everything's been demolished, the only thing that's left now is the Stagecoach Inn, and that's along the Pony Express Highway. It's still there, it's Pony Express Trail, and so that was a famous stop to stop there. That still exists, as well as the schoolhouse, and that's just a block down and half a block up. So you had to go for a walk in the middle of the night to get from one place to the other.
One building used to be the commissary too, like the.
So that the building that is the museum, that is the old commissary building, and that was further back and got brought close to the street.
So on our episode of Mercer Cemetery, did we talk about that was like a huge little boom town as well for a short time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so from Fairfield, Camp Floyd to Mercer is about a 4.5-hour walk. Just saying.
Probably a lot quicker on horseback.
Yeah.
Right. So I wonder if, like you were just saying, Fairfield, were they open around the same time? Because that could have been pretty significant, actually.
Yeah, but with this being more of an army base or camp,
Yeah.
I don't think.
People could be mingling.
Yeah.
Commingling, got it.
But I'm sure people from there could go over to Mercer,
Yeah.
but they don't got the horses for that. But yeah, so I was intrigued by this place, wondering, it's old. And I actually remember our dad took us there when when I got this metal detector. He wanted to go out there and check stuff out. And so we were out there looking around with this metal detector. But then when I went out there, I remembered all that. I was like, oh, I remember this place.
What did you discover with your metal detector?
Just like gun casings, nothing cool.
But like recent gun casings?
Yeah, nothing from. I guess they've
Nothing from war times.
dug everything out a long time ago.
Oh.
And it's all in the museum. A lot of the stuff they found were like buttons and like pipes, utensils.
Okay.
Some of those, those were the things that they have in the museum showing that they dug up.
So Mercer was actually about 9 years after they left. 1870.
Oh, it's after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1870.
Crazy.
Probably because it was for a while, it looks like Fairfield was pretty large.
Frog town.
For the area. So it sounds like they're like, hey, what else is around here? Oh, there's silver in these hills.
Yes.
Yeah, all those the ochre
And
mountains
copper.
were already the claims all up and down the hills.
Yeah, we got to get that stuff.
So if this was a bloodless war, what makes it potential for hauntings?
That's also, who knows? I guess some of the things left behind, there could be some people just might have enjoyed their time there and stuck around. There could have been some deaths, accidental deaths, not really related to war, but
Well, you got to think this is also probably Native American land at one point. So I mean,
True. In the
you
Ochre
don't necessarily
Mountains.
have to have someone that has died there for it to be haunted. Reasons why places are haunted. One is like it's a familiar place to someone. Maybe it was someone somewhere they really enjoyed when they were alive, so that's why they go back there. You also have to know, like right across the street from the Stagecoach Inn is the cemetery.
Yeah.
So
Also-
it's possible for spirits to wander over from there. Remember, I've only been there once. It was about 8 years ago. I do remember there was a Native American spirit in the Stagecoach Inn. So
There was the Stagecoach Inn also stayed in business till about the mid 1900s. So it passed on through generations of the family. The same family owned it, and they lived and probably died in there.
Look at this
And
known
Mark
deaths.
Twain, so Mark Twain stayed in one of these rooms. So they have a plaque.
What was
with
he
his-
doing here?
Going down the Finger Bang Highway.
yeah, Pony Express Highway.
I guess he wrote a book. I think
Wait,
he-
what? No way.
Yeah, you
Mark-
wouldn't believe
dude,
this.
Mark
You wouldn't
Twain.
believe this.
I
This
think
guy wrote
Mark-
a book.
He wrote a book. Was
No,
it
he went-
famous?
No, it wasn't. No, this was not a famous book,
Oh,
and you
okay.
can't even find this book anymore. But I think it had to do with like him going out exploring along the Wild West, and I guess it was removed from the shelves because it wasn't very politically correct.
Okay.
But so yeah, you can't even find this book anymore.
We gotta censor that stuff from the 1800s.
Yep, exactly. So.
Get rid of history.
But in that room that he stayed in, there's a hole in the wall where somebody, not shooting at somebody, was cleaning their gun. Gun went off and went through a couple walls, and this one wall they left the hole there, so you can still see the non-life killing bullet hole.
Well, if you drive through like Cedar Valley and Fairfield today, if you drive through there today, it does look like an abandoned town still. But people live there. But like you drive by a gas station and it's abandoned. But it's it's a gas station. So it's been around.
It was open a year ago.
Oh well, there's a couple there.
I stopped there
Uh-huh.
a year ago, and I walked in there, and it was weird as shit.
Like why?
The shelves were damn near empty,
Uh-huh.
and there was maybe like 4 things on there. It looked like it was ransacked, and everybody took everything.
Or zombie apocalypse?
The zombie. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It looked like a zombie apocalypse came through, and somehow they were still open. Like they
Get
were
the
gonna feed-
Twinkies!
like they were gonna feed on my brains. Like I walked in, it was like a trap. They were gonna lock me in and then suck my brains out through my ears.
Like you were filling up your gas there, and then walked.
No,
inside, or
I think I
wanted some
needed a
treats?
pee or something.
Okay.
And because I was going around the long way to Tooele,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I think I stopped there, and I was like, I'm gonna get a drink and pee here. And then the fridge, go to open, there was like 2 Gatorades, and like I think whatever they were gonna eat for lunch was in there.
Their own lunch was
Yeah.
there.
It was
The
like-
employees.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know why they went out of business.
it was the weirdest shit.
Couldn't have been COVID.
Yeah, I was like, this is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre type shit. Hills
Yeah,
have eyes.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. And also out there,
Oh, there's a diner, isn't there?
I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things that don't seem open, but maybe they are. There's also an Amazon fulfillment center out there. Just saying.
Facebook too.
Or is it Facebook?
Facebook.
Maybe I'm thinking of
and
Facebook.
Tyson Chicken.
Yeah, Facebook's out there. Facebook has headquarters right out there.
Well, it's
I figured.
considered Eagle Mountain, closer to where those homes are.
Don't take this from him.
But yeah. So I was wondering why this place was considered haunted as well. But yeah, it makes sense. The Stagecoach Inn having a lot of families passing away there, possibly.
I mean, it's a rural area. I guess you could say you can consider that a pretty rural area, even though it's only 30 minutes away from the suburbs. Still a pretty rural area, so it's pretty quiet. So if there's a cemetery there and spirits around, they might just kind of like the peace and quiet, so they just wander around because it's abandoned. Like, because nothing happens there now, right? Camp Floyd, Stagecoach Inn, nothing's happening there right now.
no,
it's not- it's
there's
not an
houses
operation.
around there, but they're open for. It's a state park.
Because it's a museum. It's
Yeah, it's a
state
museum,
park.
and so it's open. You can go there and tour it, walk through.
Is there, like, just for people listening or watching, is there anything cool there at the state park? What's there? Playground or?
They do reenactments there. They do war reenactments there. So there's certain times of the year to check that out to see what's happening.
And I would say maybe that would trigger something, but again, Bloodless War, so probably reenactments might not trigger anything.
Yeah, you never know. What else goes on there?
It's reenactments of people saying, "No, stop it! I'm telling."
They're like, you stop it. You start a fight. No, I'm not going to start a fight. You start
draw
the fight.
first blood. No, you draw first
telling
blood.
Mom.
So
I'm telling the president.
I'm just go home and
Or
tell
I'll
my
tell
president.
Brigham Young. Like old Porter Rockwell on you.
Yeah.
But there does seem to be people that get a lot of activity at the schoolhouse.
Okay.
And then at the Stagecoach Inn. So when I tried to investigate the schoolhouse, there just was too many people in there at the same time. And everybody's got their own equipment running and trying to do stuff. And it's just like one big room like this and all these people running equipment all over the same room.
Yeah, so if you've been to Benson Grist Mill, you've seen the little schoolhouse there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like that, but
Maybe four
like,
times bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot. It probably holds maybe 30 people, 30 students, maybe more. And then there's like a hallway that goes around it on the outside, on both the sides. And then there's a bell tower.
Okay.
So it seemed a little overcrowded to investigate. So it would be better if it was just like one team investigating at a time in there where you could actually sit in the quiet.
And people can rent it out to investigate.
Yeah.
So they've
So
been-
if someone wants to investigate and rent it out, maybe share the prices with everybody.
I don't have those on hand.
Okay, so it's $100 per building,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's $50 an hour for an employee to be there.
Yep. Simple enough that you.
So the
I
owners,
don't remember
the,
that off the top of my head.
yeah, I do. I remember things. So the owners, I believe back in 2008 is when they opened it up. They were hearing things about people saying that the place was haunted. So they brought in some paranormal investigators to check it out, collect evidence, and figure out if it was haunted or not. They will not confirm nor will they deny that there are spirits there, but they've sort of embraced it. And that's, I think, in 2008 is when they opened it up for public investigations, and they've been doing it ever since because it gives, like, you know, people are way interested in the paranormal. Obviously, you are, or you wouldn't be listening to us. But it's they just kind of embraced it, and they're like, you know, let's roll with this. So I might have video still somewhere. I'd have to find it on Facebook. But when I was there, I actually got a voice in the schoolhouse. It was like a little girl saying something. It's very quiet, so it's not like the best. It's definitely a Class C EVP. But
I would like to go back there to investigate when it's quiet and there isn't all these people there.
see, I got lucky. When we went into the schoolhouse, there was only like 4 of us.
See, that's perfect. That would be perfect. Even if there was, I don't know, I would say even 2 teams at the same time would be too much. But yeah, 1 team in there at a time would be perfect to really get like the quietness to really try to investigate.
So you can investigate 2 buildings. Is that correct? Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got the Stagecoach Inn,
Okay, so the
and then
Stagecoach
you've
Inn.
got the schoolhouse.
How many levels is the Stagecoach?
2
Inn?
levels.
2 levels. And you have the whole building, or
Yeah.
and you go in the rooms? They're all open.
No, there's a roped off path. Like a lot of the entrances to the rooms are roped off, so you cannot go into the rooms.
So
but
where
you
can
can
you
go
go?
you can go to the entrance of the room. The rooms are open, and you can like lean in.
Oh, okay.
So they
you
have them
can't
all roped
pass.
off.
Yeah, so you cannot go into the threshold of the door, but you can lean into the room. You just can't
okay.
walk in.
And then
Because they have them like with the old furniture and stuff too.
Yeah,
When,
so-
when I went, they actually let us go into a couple of the rooms.
Yeah,
But
these.
that, like I said, it was 8 years ago, so
Yeah, I think people probably ruined it.
probably.
So, and then the other place is the schoolhouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start. Where do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the Stagecoach Inn?
So yeah, the schoolhouse. Like I said, I didn't really investigate that.
And then
it was
Baker,
just too
did you
crowded.
investigate it?
The schoolhouse, yes.
And you remember anything about it?
I remember kind of feeling like there was something in the bell tower, like watching us, like there was a kid up there or
Is it
something.
bell tower?
Yes.
Ah, I can imagine the schoolhouse now. It's
pretty creepy looking.
Is it white?
No,
it's red.
That's gonna be my second guess.
It's
It's
brownish.
It's brownish. I have so many photos of it on my computer at home. I don't know if I actually have any spirits or anything in those photos, but
It was dark already when I got there, so I was trying to get some.
so when I did it, it was still daytime when I did the schoolhouse, and this is actually the first investigation I ever went on with my old paranormal team. It was for a paranormal convention that was going on. And
Okay, maybe move to the camera. So stone, yeah. I imagine it being wood.
No,
Like the little books I read as a child.
I'll have to go
everything was
through-
made of Adobe bricks.
I'll have to go
Okay.
through my photos on my computer and see if I've got some good ones to.
So that was, I guess, the army coming to Utah. They also said was a good thing for the Mormons that lived here to make money on them. So like one of the things they were doing were when they built all these 400 structures, they were using Adobe bricks, and they were building these bricks for them to build the things with for at a penny a brick.
Okay.
A lot of bricks.
Yeah. All right. So schoolhouse. Not much for either of you in the schoolhouse. Do you remember? So bigger. You said you felt a presence. You don't really remember getting evidence.
Well, like I said, I have a Class C.
Oh, that
EVP.
happened inside the.
That was in the schoolhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it said?
No, I'll have to go find it, and I'll find it and see if I can like maybe enhance the audio, and I can put it up on social media. But
Okay.
I know it's on my Facebook somewhere, but I don't think the audio is that great. You didn't get anything in the schoolhouse?
So no, I didn't really. There was this constant. People were just talking the whole time.
Yeah, you can't
and
catch
people.
evidence
People
there.
were walking in and out. Even when you're trying not to disturb anybody and you're walking and being quiet, you're being loud as shit, not realizing it.
Okay.
So yeah, but what I did is after the tour, I went right back to the beginning of this Stagecoach Inn, and I felt a presence right when you walk in. There's the first room to the right. There's
Okay.
two rooms when you walk in. We're kind of walking in this little lobby area,
Uh-huh.
and then there's two bedrooms. To the right, at the beginning of the tour, right away, I was drawn to that room. And then the guy guiding it had said there was something in there. I was like, oh, cool. But anyways,
Did they say much about it? Like what they think or who they think it is?
they said that there was a Native American, and they think that there's also like a little boy. But what I picked up on in there was a woman. I was picking up on a woman's spirit. But what I was able to do was it was interacting with the K2. So the K2 was going off.
Remind people that if they don't know what a K2 is.
It's an EMF detector, and it has a green light. That means that there's 0 EMF, and it goes 5 lights up to red. Red meaning that the EMF is really high. So as I'm using it, it's green because there's nothing there, and I'm kind of moving around.
And so it shouldn't change colors at all.
Because there's no EMF there, and then I was starting to get interaction with it. It started going off. So then I started filming, and it was constantly giving me answers. It was interacting with me, and I got about a good 10 minutes of interaction with it. And towards the end of it, I was kind of like, okay, just saying bye, just want to say bye to you. And then it was going to red, and I was like, hey, let's see if you'll walk out this, follow me out here. And as I'd walk away, it would kind of fade to green, and then I'd pause, and then it would start lighting up again, and I could catch up. And I'd walk away a little bit, and it would keep doing that. And then when I got to the middle of the lobby, so I walked away from the doorway to the room it was in, and walked about a good 15, 20 feet away from that. And as I was standing there, another couple walked into the Stagecoach Inn, and the moment they walked in, interaction was gone.
They scared him away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
that's what
felt
it seemed like.
you felt it was a young girl,
That's what I was feeling like. I feeling like I was interacting with a woman.
a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from what they said is that there's a Native American spirit there.
And so, did you ask questions? Were you getting like responses?
I was trying to see if it was a nurse, like if it was an old nurse. But
That was your guess.
that was my thought, but no, I didn't get any a lot of interaction on that. I didn't really go into detail about all that.
Okay.
So that's the inside of the schoolhouse.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know how good this is. Let me turn the. Let's see.
All the way.
Okay, hold on.
Emily, you still up there?
It's very quiet at the end.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is when I first started investigating 8 years ago, and I just had a video camera set up at the front, like where the teacher would be. I can't remember what I was asking, but it's very faint at the end. So let me play it.
Real quick, do you remember how many people were in the room with you? Like maybe give some background to it.
So there was 4 of us.
Okay.
It was Brandy, myself, Castle, who used to run the old team with us, and then one other random person.
Okay.
So there's only 4 of us.
All right. And you guys are all. I don't see anybody in the videos. Looks like you're all.
So
in
we're
the same
actually
place.
behind the camera.
And all 4 of you are behind the camera,
Yep.
and you're asking the question. Everyone's quiet.
Yep. Except for the person asking the question.
Emily, you still up there? Emily,
You kind of hear a whisper right
Yeah.
at the tail end.
Do you
of it.
guys hear that at the time or no?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Okay.
So that's like that's my evidence from like 8 years ago.
Okay.
I do have some pictures that when I thought orbs were a thing. Of at Camp Floyd, but it was kind of interesting because you see it in one picture it's like in one spot, and the next picture it's in the next spot, but I don't know if it's actual
Too
like,
hard to
spirit
tell.
energy.
Yeah.
Because this is when I was like, orbs are cool. Yay, orbs.
I thought orbs were cool too until I watched a show and they were like, "Can you see my great grandmother's face in that?" No, no. What are you talking about? There's no faces in there. Orb. Get out of here. That's why I was like, I don't know about these things.
So did you have much interaction with the woman?
Besides that K2.
No, other than that was it.
Okay.
But I did have, I did meet a couple guys there that did get, sorry about that. I did meet a couple guys there that got a couple EVPs. And so they sent over this EVP for me. So this was,
Yeah, they sent 2, and the first one we were listening to, it's hard to tell, right?
yeah, it was in the Stagecoach Inn, and like I said, well, I didn't say this, but it's creaky in there. Mm-hmm. So even in part of the house, if you're in part of the house, you can hear people walking around in another part just with how loud it is. Creaky.
Well, you said that there's 2 floors, so I think these guys were on the bottom floor.
Yeah, so
So it's possible someone was walking above
no,
them.
not this one. This one was in the schoolhouse.
Okay, this was in the schoolhouse.
Yeah, this one's in the schoolhouse.
Oh, this is the second one.
Yeah, this is the
No,
second
but
one.
we're talking about the first one right now.
Okay.
So the first one we were saying, they seen evidence, but
Well, he's got this one pulled up. So
Yeah, so this is the one I have
talk
pulled
about
up. This is the one I have pulled
schoolhouse.
up.
I know,
This
but I'm
is
just
the
saying the
schoolhouse.
other. We're not playing the first one because it's hard to tell.
It's you don't really. I didn't hear anything personally. I didn't hear anything.
I could hear something, but it is hard to tell because there are things going on where there are people walking around. It could be them walking around. It could be them talking. It could be the floor. It could be them opening doors, or could be a lot of things.
Like
Too much.
We hear something you can't tell, so we're gonna say, nah, scratch it.
But I like
But we
this
got
one
another one.
because this one, they're alone. It's just these 2 guys. And
they're in the schoolhouse, you said?
DNC Paranormal.
Oh,
yeah.
DNC Paranormal.
And they're in the schoolhouse at this time, and they ask what their name, if they can say their name, and then you hear something respond. They don't hear it at the time, but they heard it on the playback. So, check this out.
can you tell us your name?
So you can hear something whispering
Yeah, do it again.
as a response.
Can you tell us your name?
Can you turn up any louder? Because it might be loud for us in the headphones, but it might be good for the listeners.
Okay.
Can you tell us your name?
I hear S sound.
Yeah, there's a few syllables in there.
Yeah, I'm hearing 3 syllables now.
So
When I first heard it, I thought I heard 2 syllables. Now I'm hearing 3. Because you both hear 3.
Yeah, I heard 3. It definitely starts with an S.
I hear an S sound. In fact, when I first heard it, before we said anything, as soon as I heard it come across, I thought I heard the name Steven. That's just me, though.
So I wonder if maybe some of the hauntings at the schoolhouse are maybe just residual, or if they're spirits of other people from the town that just walked in there and hang out. Who knows?
Yeah, you guys have any guesses what you think it's saying?
I think it's saying a name, but it's too breathy and it's too hard to make out the actual vowels.
And this is a Class C EVP. You can hear the syllables. To me, it sounds like they're saying their first and last name, but I can't make out exactly what they're saying.
Maybe one more time. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. So you hear these guys. In fact, this was a 3-minute audio clip that you were sent, and they didn't say anything to us. Right? They just said, "Hey, listen to these EVPs." We get a 3-minute clip. We're like, "Oh, I don't know if we're going to find this." And wow, it's kind of really stood out to us.
Okay, here it is.
Can you tell us your name?
Yeah, it's hard to make out.
Okay, one more time.
Can you tell us your name?
It's hard to make out, but it is. That's definitely a voice coming through.
Well, and it's about the same volume as the one that I played. The
Right,
EVP guy.
right,
It's
right.
very faint, so it's possible.
And they were just using an iPhone.
Okay.
So I think if they had a better
Oh, the voice recorder on a
yeah,
phone.
on the-
Got it.
Well, and mine was just the
A phone itself too, right?
no, it was a Sony Handycam.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
it was
camera.
just it was just the microphone off of the camcorder.
Got it.
So yeah, the only evidence I recorded was just the interaction I was getting with the K2. The other parts of the Stagecoach Inn I was trying to investigate. Other people would be walking through, and yeah, it automatically just messes with whatever you're trying to do. And you're
Makes
on a
sense.
pathway, and if people are going to walk through, especially with the new flux that I got, if you mess with that, if you get close to it, it's going to set it off.
Yeah,
So-
it would be the same with the millimeter.
So it was a little too much with that many people going through. So if you had one team at the Stagecoach Inn, one team at the schoolhouse, and then switch, that would be a good way to do it.
Well, DNC Paranormal, thanks for sharing that EVP. That was a really good EVP. I mean, it's hard to make out, but it's good evidence, I think.
Yeah, that was that just happened last night. So
Yeah.
being able to pull that out that quick,
Did you sense anything while you were in the schoolhouse?
no, I did not, not at all. I felt more like there was things outside than there were inside.
Okay, but you could have been there, felt that, and then as you left, maybe something entered when you left. Because they didn't like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
That's
look at this
normal.
guy.
That's normal.
It's
He's telling
EVP
stories
guy.
again.
All right, cool.
Well, but yeah, that was pretty much it for Camp Floyd. I mean, I think there's spirits there, not that many that are active. I wouldn't say it's like super haunted, but I think it would be more. I think it would be better to do with a smaller group, like I was
Okay.
saying.
Yes, definitely best with a small group. It's also a great beginner investigation. If you've never been on an investigation before, there's nothing too crazy there, nothing like really dark or negative there. So it's a good place to go and kind of learn how to investigate.
Most likely, some of the town people that lived there before. Most
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah, it could
Makes
be.
sense.
Or some residuals. But yeah, that was it for Camp Floyd, and we'll be back next week with a new adventure in a new place. Sound good, guys?
Sounds good.
All right, go so you don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.
Hi-yo, Silver, away.
This is the EVP Podcast.